There is no legal action to take. I have complied. You just do not like it, and you're angered by it, and I get that. And you don't want to do this shit no more. It's fine. What is profit sharing, Joe? Do we want to have this conversation? I've been trying not to have that conversation, so I don't know if here is the place to have that conversation on Instagram. I know they said what they said, but it's not true. And I, as the business owner, can't get on the internet and just start talking about people's contracts. It's not professional. It's not professional. It don't send the right message to the future people that may want to work. You don't do that. Yes, let's have it. You really ruined something good. So what? Get over it. So what? Get over it. It's Man More Podcast. Go find one. Would you be open to sitting down with them again and trying to understand? We sat down a bunch, and I think I understand. And in watching the video, I understand even further. Those brothers they've been unhappy with the way shit has been running for a few years, it seems. And I was the last to know. But if you're unhappy, you should do something different. I'm not trying to be a dick. You shouldn't continue to be somewhere where you're not happy with the situation. I may have handled it wrong, but man, you can't do that. And you can't attack your man because you're mad at the situation. You can't do that. They are entitled to the books if they have a percentage-based contract. They're not entitled to the books if the contract says they're not entitled to the books, sir. I know that you are a living room attorney. I know that you got a lot of living room degrees, but there are words in contracts. Oh, man. He tried and you screamed like a kid. Well, yeah. Come on, let's talk. Let's talk. Rory says that he had a meeting with Elliot. To discuss title, and then he called and told me about it, and I screamed on him. He's absolutely right. I screamed on him. He was totally out of place. He should not have done that. I had already been having discussions with title. I named a number. They weren't the fondest of it. And here goes Rory to sit down and talk to Elliot, but he doesn't own it, and he doesn't know how much it's costing to run these things, and he don't know what type of money I'm going to take. So I 100% said to Rory, please do not do that again. Please do not be used as a pawn when people are trying to do their negotiating tricks. I've already spoken to them. I said a number. That's true. That's true. And when I came back to say, hey, we have a title deal, it's because Hove called. Not because you sat with Elliot. It's because the highest person in the food chain called and said, this is how I feel, present it to your guys. So that's what I did. And you guys wanted to take that title deal. That title deal was for $40,000 a month. $40,000 a month is what that deal was for, with no information being given. Y'all wanted to take it. I said no. We should not take it. We didn't take it. That was smart. Sorry. That just makes sense. I'm sorry that he didn't understand that. But it made sense. Did Hove offer the same number? It's never about the number, you guys. It's always about the terms. Yeah, you should have said no to the 40 ball. Philly, of course I should have said no to the 40 ball. 40 grand a month for the hottest podcast in the world. We all hold injures, but that's not how we going to do business. I'm sorry that he took that as me barking on him and little broing him and dismissing him and gaslighting him. It was just running business. if they run fast, what you got in that cup, you should just pod alone. I'm not going to pod alone. I'm going to pod with the people that want to pod, that are happy with podding with me, that are happy with the way business is being ran with the pod. So you think Elliot thinks Rory is a pawn? No, I don't think that. That's just normal business practice. If you have something that I want to be a part of and we're negotiating, and I come meet with you and you say one thing, maybe I'll try to meet with somebody else and get some more information. That's very normal. Elliot is the guy, man. You kidding me? Elliot is amazing. I just didn't want to send any false impression. He said you went off because he brought it up. Well, yeah, I went off because you were out of line and out of place. And you had no business meeting with Elliot and me finding out as the owner after the fact. That is wrong. We're running a business. Clearly should communicate those situations in real time. I thought I did. That's the problem. Joe, no one wants to hear Parks as much as he be talking. Well, it's his house, it's his equipment, it's his audio. He talks. He has opinions, he has feelings. Maul said he had more money than you. What you want me to do, man? Who cares? Keep the guests coming. You can't say it's about money when they willingly gave up their Patreon checks. Let's address that. Our Patreon deal started in February. Or my Patreon deal started in February. Let's talk about it. Our Spotify deal ended in September and was on the rocks that whole year. We have an entire team and staff and bills and balances that needed to be paid for the whole 3 years. Why would either one of them think that in February giving up a check from y'all is helping anything? I'm the network. I'm not asking the people that work for the company to give up their check for the people that work for the company. If you was going to do that, you should have been doing that. Now's not the time, and that's not your place. It's my responsibility to make sure everybody gets paid here, including you gentlemen. It's not y'all's responsibility to relinquish a check for people that are receiving a check. It doesn't work like that. Sorry. Does Parks get a raise now? Everybody gets a raise now. Everybody gets a raise. Come on, what else y'all got? Come on, where are the living room attorneys? That's nasty. Imagine trying to sell the franchise of the place. They say they don't work for you. Let's address it. Let's get to that right there, because I think that's a real big problem in the ego and the pride and the male emotions and the male communication and shit like that. Maybe they don't. No, I'm not back on any pills. That's a hurtful thing to say to someone that has struggled with a pill addiction. Now, let's talk about that. They don't work for you. This is the wording in the contract. And they'll have to go speak to their attorneys about this. Or no, this is not the wording in the contract, because you're not going to catch me like that, where you're suing me because I'm divulging personal information. This is what the contract says. It doesn't say that they are profit participants of the podcast. These are facts, living room lawyers. It doesn't say that they're profit participants of the podcast. And I think that's what they may have thought. I don't know. But watching their video, I still don't think they know what the contract says. But it says something to the effect of they make money off of my podcast earnings net. That's very different. It's very different. It's a very different statement, sentiment. It may be tough for some people to understand, but those words are very, very different. The end. It's not for me to explain further. If there's any issues, get with people that you trust, not your friend. Oh, it's not difficult to understand? I thought it was difficult to understand. You make a percentage of what I net from this work operation. And after the Spotify deal, I quickly learned that I was all wrong. I ain't never had no money, so I was all wrong in what it costs to run a business. I was wrong. It was bad. It was bad, y'all. It was costing me a lot more. It was expensive. So I went and I took my money from everywhere and I ran the business. My revolt money, my pull-up money, my love and hip-hop money, YouTube money, any money. Any money I had, I came back and put it all in the business. Because if I didn't do that, niggas might be making $30,000 and $40,000 based on a contract. That ain't the friendly thing to do. Watch your niggas make 40, and that's nasty. So I never honored it. I never looked at it. I always just went above and beyond. And that's that. But I don't think they knew that. And that's where we stand in the fight. That's why the therapist said, maybe I shouldn't have done that. Maybe she's right. They don't know that I'm going above and beyond. They don't know I'm taking money from all over the place to make sure everybody's okay. They don't know. They're right. They don't know. But you can't look up twice a year and expect to know. That's really just the bottom line. And that's where the fight came from. The podcast don't have a deal anywhere. There's no deal. That's what I said to these brothers privately. There's no deal. There is no deal. We don't have a deal. We left Spotify. There is no deal. They could be in my pockets. It's clear. It's clear. We can talk. There is no deal. That's not a secret. There's no deal. That's it. $400,000 mistake just goes to all of the things that they thought was wrong with accounting that wasn't wrong. The $400,000 mistake that's how Spotify paid out 1 year. They gave you an advance up front or part of the money up front, and as the business owner, you have to prorate it through the year or through the 2 years, and that's what happened. And they got the accounting and saw this big $400,000 number and said, "What's this? What's this? You lying? You stealing? How do you make this?" I said, "Fam, we can't do this. We can't do this if y'all don't understand what this says. We can't do it." But you got a Patreon deal. Yeah. Me. Y'all still rich, you bugging. Yeah, that's what I was saying. And that's where I went wrong when you're working with friends. I was thinking, all right, I see what's going on. As long as everybody has a way to be a millionaire or a path to be a millionaire. That's what the fight is for with these companies. Just a path to be able to share in the benefits of what you built. You are not making sense. No, you just stupid, nigga. This makes all the sense in the world. It's very simple. It's not tough to understand. You never talk to them like that. I've had 90 million talks with these gentlemen like this. They just don't like it. They don't like it, but they won't step to the lawyer that negotiated it, that is still representing them both. They rather just attack me. But I'll take it. I love those guys. Fuck it. All relationships don't last. But everybody got to eat. You said, no, it isn't. You drag them to the deaths publicly and say you love them. Well, yeah. Yeah, I went through something. I had a tough day. Sorry. I've been making my mistakes publicly since I was 20 years old. Sorry that you just got here. You just got to the internet to figure out how this works. Sometimes you make a mistake publicly. Ooh, whoop-de-doo, cancel me. Fumble up the bag. Validate your own self, Joe. You don't need others. Nobody else validates my feelings. It's just important for all the living room lawyers to know how this works, because some of you out there could use some of this as a teachable moment. That's it. Any nigga that has to rob their friend to buy Amiri hats is a nasty nigga, man. It's disgusting. Yes, I am too old for this, which is why this is the best outcome. Do I wish this could have been handled better and behind the scenes? 100% I do. Do I wish that they didn't just view everything like some type of evil action was taking place? I did. You do a lot of lying and covering your true feelings, because this ain't about feelings. It's about business. Nobody's here for feelings. I got a lot of feelings. Nobody cares. So what? They don't matter. The business has to run still. I know that makes me seem like a meanie. So do you think they accused you of stealing? No, maybe not. Maybe they didn't accuse me of stealing. They just had a problem with the accounting on the way a multi-million-dollar business is being ran, which says that you think you are entitled to more. And maybe you are. And maybe that's where the fight is. They think they're entitled to more. I don't really see it. It's harsh. It's tough. I know. But I mean, the contract was only for another year. I mean, if they both said they wasn't going to re-sign it, then this shit was over in another year anyway. A multi-million-dollar business cannot be reflected on an Excel. Okay, but what if there is no business? Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. What if there's no business at all? What if there is no deal? What if you're not signed? What if there's no audio deal, no video deal, there's no ad, no integration? What if there's nothing? And this is why it's almost pointless to have these conversations on the internet. So I'm going to finish, because you wanted to put them on salary. Yeah, that's how it works. If all you want to do is come in and talk, then you make a salary. Now, granted, it could be a really high salary, but if you have a problem with sitting behind expenses, then you should get a salary. They got a percentage. You said it last pod. Yes, they have a percentage of Joe's net from the pod. Yes, they do. That is true. Call a lawyer and figure out what it means if you played yourself as a person. They've been saying that for 20 years. Everything looks gorgeous out right now. All right, I'm getting off. Did you give up the Spotify deal with another deal in place? Explain Royce and Crook. On the surface, this pod is none of your business. Sounds harsh, but I get what you're saying. You was making up numbers then. Oh, my God. Shut up. What we're not going to do is come on here and just start spilling the numbers for shit. Grab a calculator, grab your contract, do math. It's very simple. You honestly should only have a guest host. Thank you, Dre. We're going to look into all of that. We're going to look into guest hosts. We're going to look into rotating hosts. We're going to look into no hosts. We're just going to look into things. This is the time to experiment, try different things, and embrace whatever the universe is doing. This is going to ruin your day, King. No, it's not. Oh, Jesus. I don't want to say that and seem like I'm gaslighting or I'm dismissive. It's not going to ruin the day. All of y'all be smooth. Y'all be easy. I'm going to even leave this video up for a little while. I won't just delete it so y'all could look at it. Pray for everybody involved. Nah, you were wrong, Joe. Mixie Boys with a dub. I know. Who cares? Unsub, unfollow. Do what you got to do. Enjoy yourselves. Talk to y'all soon. Be easy. Going back to jail.